Hello YouTube, CJ here, and today I got a very interesting deck profile for you guys. This is my Blue Eyes Pendulum deck. Um, it's not meta defying, but it's actually really fun to mess around with. And this deck actually makes my brothers angry and rage. Um, so yeah, I actually got a better Blue Eyes deck, which is online. Sadly, I don't have all the cards in real life from that online. But this deck is actually pretty good. It's a Pendulum Blue Eyes deck. Yeah, let's get into it. All right, starting off, I'm running Ancients and Legends. Why? Well, because Legends, if he sends to a graveyard, I'll add a Blue Eyes White Dragon to my hand, and then Ancients, when he sent it to graveyard, at the end of the turn, I get a Blue Eyes on the field. Also, you banish it, and then you add Blue Eyes to your hand. So yeah, you're really good if you have like alternative in your hand or trade in. So yeah. Next, I'm running Perform Power Odd Ice Unicorn and Gongato. Gongato, when he's on your scale and your opponent does a direct attack, any that damage is reduced to 0. Um, and then his monster effect is pretty much the same. When an attack is declared involving this monster and your opponent monster, the attack is reduced to 0. And an Odd Eyes Unicorn, honestly, I really don't care about the monster effect because I don't use the monster effect. I just use the Pendulum effect, which is when an Odd Eyes monster you control declares an attack, you target one Perform Power monster, and that Odd Eyes gains attack equal to that Perform Power monster's attack. So it's really, really good, especially for Odd Eyes Pendulum, since he does double battle damage. And then last for my level 1s, I'm running Effect Veiler and DD Crow. DD Crow, I'm running him just in case you're dueling a hero deck and they have malicious in the graveyard. DD Crow malicious, boom. They won't get another malicious since he's at 2. And Effect Veiler, negate any monster's effect, just discard it. So yeah, 2 really good hand traps. Um, I would be running 2 Cheermole, but I could only find 1. So yeah, 1 Cheermole. It's still really good at 1 right now, but if I had 2, it would have been a lot better. What Cheermole does is scaled. Yes, the scale a at scale all pendulum monster gains 300 attack, and then its monster effect. It's really interesting and really good. Because you can not only target your monster, but you can also target your opponent monster. Because it says you can target one monster whose current attack is different than its original. So if it's higher than its original, it gains 1,000. But if it's lower than its original, it loses 1,000. So it's really good, and it comes handy, honestly, especially against heroes. Heroes gain crazy amount of attack. So minus 1,000 on their attack, it's actually a lot. Yeah, it's really good. Next, I'm running 1, 2, 3 loser draw. Why? Draw. It's draw power. Because like at the scale, if you can draw a perform power monster, you destroy him and draw a card. And then once he's out in the field, any monster, not only perform power, not pendulums, not no, any monster that's like removed from the field or is destroyed by an attack from your opponent or card effect, you draw a card equal to the number of perform power monsters you currently control. So you're gonna be drawing quite a few, 2, 3 cards. So yeah, it lose your draw is really good. And then last my level 3s, 1 Ghost Org and 1 Ash. Ash, pretty much anything to do like adding cards from your deck, drawing, anything like that, just Ash it. And then Ghost Spell Orcus, pretty much anything that has to do with the graveyard, zombies, Orcus, you can easily Ghost Spell. Even Malicious. If you Ghost Spell Malicious, yeah, it's over for heroes. Alright, moving on to level 4s. For my level 4 Dark Monsters, I'm running my Supreme Keen and Silver Claw. Supreme Keen, I have him to search out your gate 0 for that really low scale and set up your scales. Your highest scale is an 8. So if you have unicorn in your hand, some normal summon him, search scale 0, and boom, you got a scale 1 through 7. Silverclaw, when he declares an attack, all perform power monsters you control gain 300 until the end of the battle. So he'd be at 2100, so it's really good. His scale, all perform power gains 300. It's pretty much his monster effect, but lasts forever until he is removed. And then his scale, I really don't use it much, but if I do, you put 0 to your scale, and then you have a scale 1 through 4. So yeah. Next, I'm running 1 Coin Dragon. Coin Dragon is actually really good. I would run like 2 Coin Dragon, but I only have 1 Coin Dragon. In the monster zone, all dragon monster you currently control gains 500. So your 5-headed dragon would be at 5,500. Chaos Max would be at 4,500. So yeah, that's a lot of attack. And then in the pendulum scale, if your extra deck dragon monster attacks an opponent monster, that monster is banished at the end of the damage calculations. It's really, really good. And last for my level 4, Master Pendulum. He's here so he can like destroy other cards in your pendulum zone to make room for a higher scale, or make room, reset your scale. And yeah, and he's a level 4, so you can go into rank 4 plays. Moving on, I'm running 2 Gravity Dragon and 2 Pendulum Dragon. Honestly, I feel like Gravity Dragon is underrated. His effect is actually really good. It has a banned spell card effect, which is a spell speed 4, so your opponent pretty much can't chain anything to his effect. So his banned spell card effect is return spells and trap card to the hand, like all. And then his other effect is pretty much a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Your opponent has to pay 500 to pretty much do anything. And then Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, he does double battle damage, so it's really good. Also, they're level 7, so you can go into rank 7. I use Pendulum Dragon or Gate 0 for rank 7. I don't touch my Gravity Dragon at all. So yeah, I do have the Gate 0, the 1 Gate 0. And then, yes, I mentioned Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon earlier for Coin Dragon. So yeah, I'm running 2 of him. He does piercing, double piercing, so it's really good. This is my favorite ritual monster. I love Blue Eyes archetype. Both Blue Eyes and Red Eyes are my top 2 favorite archetype. I also like Galaxy Eyes, but out of the 3, I love Blue Eyes because of this reason. My favorite ritual monster, my favorite archetype, double piercing, good protection. So yeah, 4,000, that's big. And then pretty much running 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, but I got 1 alternative. Alternative is here just to destroy a monster. And then, yeah. When they're in the graveyard, you just banish them because they don't really do much, just for the draw power and then for Chaos Max. And you can, bring out 5-headed by banishing them. That's mainly their sole purpose here. I feel bad because I love Blue Eyes, but yeah, that's their sole purpose here. Bring out Chaos Max and 5-headed. Alright, fusion spell cards. I'm running 2 Odd Eyes Fusion, 1 Pendulum Fusion, and 1 Dragon's Mirror. So yeah, Dragon's Mirror is for 5-headed dragon. That's pretty much the only way I usually bring it out. Pendulum Fusion is pretty much normal poly. The only difference is if you have 2 monsters in your scale, you can use them as well. And then Odd Eyes Fusion, you can fusion summon your dragon type fusion monster. And if your opponent has 2 or more monster and you control one monster, you can use Odd Eyes monsters in your extra deck and send them to graveyard. So I have this for Vortex Dragon. Moving on. To trade in. So yeah, Blue Eye sole purpose just to trade it and to draw 2, go into 5-headed and Chaos Max. So yeah. Monster Reborn and Return. Pretty much 2 Monster Reborn. The only difference is Return of Dragon Lords has a protection for dragon monsters and also only works on level 7 or 8 dragon type monsters. My one searcher, I originally had 2. It was Golden Sarcophagus, but I felt like that was slow because I had to wait 2 of my standby phases. But Melody, I feel like it's a lot better and a lot faster because all you do is discard and search 2 dragons. So pretty much Blue Eyes, pretty much. Cause yeah. Yeah. 2 Chaos Form and 2 Advent. Chaos Form for Chaos Max Dragon, and then Advent is for Gravity Dragon. Advent also, if your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you control no monsters, pretty much the same thing as Odd Eyes Fusion. You can ritual summon from your extra deck, face up extra deck monsters, send them to graveyard, and boom, yeah. And Chaos Form, if you have Blue Eyes in your graveyard, you banish it and ritual summon Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Which Blue Eyes would most likely be in the graveyard for you, so yeah. 2 Soul Pendulum. Honestly, it's a really good spell card for pendulums because whenever you pendulum summon, it gains a counter, and all pendulum monster gains 300 times the number of counter it has. Then you can target up to 2 pendulum monsters, either increase or decrease its scale by 1. And I believe I covered all the effect. You get to remove 3 counters from it and then pendulum summon again. So yeah, it's a really good spell card. And then lastly, for my deck, which is a deck of 42, I have Cosmic Cyclone and Super Polymerization. Super Poly is for your Starving Venom, one of your Predaplant. Pretty much that's the only 2 target. Or if your opponent set up a crazy board of, I don't know, 3 Quasar and 2 Cosmic Blaze Dragon, Super Poly the living crap out of it. That's a free 5-headed dragon. I've seen that happen online and it was hilarious. And then Cosmic Cyclone, just banish one of your opponent's spell or trap card. It could be like that one trap card for Dark Magician. Pretty much anything of Dark Magician, you know, Magician Circle, Eternal Soul, or you know, stuff like that. Alright, moving on to the extra deck. I only got 2 Link monsters in this deck. I would have a lot more, but these are pretty much the only 2 I have that are really good. I mean, I have Needle Fiber. I was using it originally, but I took it out because like I don't have the actual full combo for Needle Fiber, so I don't have that Link 3 Mecha Phantom Beast, and you know, so yeah, this guy is actually really good because you have one of the eggs, just normal summon it, link into this. NSI well, he's like, I don't know, my second favorite Link 4. I like Borsword. That's my like top favorite Link 4. Second into Topological Zerobors. That's like my 2. But I guess I'm not complaining because it's really good. If you use 4 monsters, which most likely I always use 4 monsters for this because I really need to reset my hand most of the time. Yeah, I reset my hand. And for 3 monsters, during your main phase, you get special summon a monster from your hand. 2 monsters, 2 or more, my bad. All monster discard points to gains 300. So if it points to Chaos Max, that's 43. 5-headed, it's at 53, and Blue Eyes 33, and so on and so forth. So yeah, he's really good. And then this Element Great just protects attributed target monster you control, just protects it from like battle or card destruction. For my rank 4s, I have these rank 4 depending on like the situation I am, which is number 101, Tornado Dragon, and Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. 101, I have him just in case my opponent has a special summon monster that's like a little too strong to be over. I can easily absorb it, and plus he has a protection by using 1 overlay unit. That first effect to suck a monster is 2 overlay units. So yeah, I got 101. Tornado Dragon, just in case, my opponent has Eternal Soul or there can only be one. I just destroy it. And then Dark Rebellion. Same thing with 101, but a little better because this one actually used an overlay unit during damage calculation. The attack target of this guy, say he's attacking a monster of 2500. I attack that monster, use an overlay unit. That monster loses 0, all its attack, and it's added to him. So my opponent would be taking 5000 damage. So yeah, that's why I run him. I would like to have the original version, but I think this one's a lot better than the original, in my opinion. So yeah, I think the Supreme King of all of them is a lot better than the original, especially Starving Venom. But yeah. Also, if you're wondering what's my favorite Xyz monster of all time, is number 107. Sadly, I don't have it. Red Eyes Flare Meadow Dragon and Dracossack. Like the other 3 rank 4s, these are depending on the situation. I know Red Eyes Flare is beat up and all. I used him a lot without sleeve, so I feel really bad for him. But yeah, he's here. If I have at least 1 Gravity Dragon, I'll bring him out. And then Dracossack is to like destroy a monster, spell, or trap card. That's a little bit of a problem with this deck. Moving on to Synchros, which I only have 3. I thought I had like 1 more. So yeah, Stardust Spark Dragon for protection, Scarlet for burn damage, and then Spirit to restrict both players. It sadly is both players, which I think it's really good, because if it's only 1 player, because like he's really good. If it only restrict 1 player from their opponent from special summoning 2 monsters, that's actually a little broken, but 2 clears it's good because it balances the effect. Also, it negates anything in the graveyard, and then you can tag it out for a like Synchro Dragon, which is Spark Dragon. That's why I have him here. And honestly, Blue Eye Spirit Dragon is like my top favorite Synchro monster, because it can like easily shut down Orcus or Heroes, because Heroes special summon so many times, and Orcus loves the graveyard. So Spirit Dragon, really good Synchro monster. And yeah, Scarlet's like my top 2nd favorite, I guess. So yeah. Alright, moving on to the fusion. 2 Vortex Dragon. When he special summon, you get to bounce 1 monster from your opponent to their hand, and then when your opponent activates a spell trap card, shuffle a Pendulum from your extra deck to the deck and negate and destroy that. And then my 2 super poly targets is Starving Venom and this Predaplant. With him, target 1 monster in the field. It gets a Predaplant counter, but it reduces its level if it's a 2 higher to 1, and its effects negated. Starving Venom, honestly, I don't know why. I love this artwork. Not gonna lie, I love it. And its effect is, it's really good. Because once he's out in the field, you can make this card attack equal to 1 of your opponent's special summon monster until the end of the turn. Really good. Once per turn, target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent control. Until the end of the turn, this card name and effect becomes that monster's name and effect. So it's two really good effect. Also, when he's removed from the field, it nukes all special summon monster from your opponent field. So, three really good effect. So that's why the Supreme King version is banned, because it's like it's like him but in steroids and crack. So yeah. And then lastly, my 5-headed dragon. Where do I begin explaining this? I mean, he's 5,000 attack. That's the best explanation I have. Yeah. Let's go into my side deck. I just made this side deck. I'm gonna tweak it a little. I'm gonna tweak it a little. But these are like the cards I can find that's useful in this deck, which is, since I have a lot of level 1s, Utopia Roots, pretty much like normal Utopia, but it gains 500 attack if it negates a Xyz monster. It gains 500 per equal to the number of rank it has. So like if it's a rank 8, it gains 4,000. If it's a rank 2, it gains 1,000, so on and so forth. More synchro monsters, level 6. An Ice Barrier and Metaphase. So he's really good. Because if I use a Pendulum monster, I choose one monster I control, gave it to my opponent, which I really don't use that one. I use the effect one, which is you can target one other face-up monster in the field, negate the effect, and then Ice Barrier, you discard 2, or discard any number of cards to the graveyard, and that many number your opponent has to return to their hand. So if you discard 4, your opponent returns 4, and so on and so forth. So those are my extra deck cards. My main deck ones are 2 Red Resonator for the synchro plays. If I open up with 1 Red Resonator and my Supreme King, I normal summon, special summon Supreme King, get 0, and then go into like a synchro summon of one of the 2 synchro monsters, depending on the situation. 2 Ogre. Honestly, this was, I want to say, the first hand trap I've ever gotten, Ghost Ogre, in, what was it, the 2016-2017 Seto Kaiba tin box. It was one of those 2. This is really good. I don't believe in the gates, because the last time I used it online, it just destroyed it, and the effect still goes through. That's one downside, but hey, at least it's not on the field no more. So yeah. 1 Doomstar Magician. I forgot I had this card, but I'm side decking this. You discard 1 card and destroy 1 Pendulum monster in your scale, and then you draw 1. So yeah. Plus pendulums, they like to destroy themselves to reset their scales, get better scales, and stuff like that. And he's a level 4 for your rank 4s or your level 6 synchros. And then 1 Pankratops. Yeah, easy monster to bring out. So he has a Cyber Dragon effect. You can destroy him to return 1 monster your opponent controls to the hand. And he's a level 7, so you can go into a rank 7 play. For my spell cards, 1 Mind Control and 1 Call by the Grave. I'm really sad Call by the Grave is at 1. Why? I don't know why Konami did that. Because you have Ash, you have Ogre, you have all these hand trap monsters. Call by the Grave is at 1. Really, there's I can't think of another way you can stop a hand trap other than Call by the Grave. So yeah, honest Neos, and then Mind Control, you steal your opponent monster, and depending on what it is, you could go into a Link play, an Xyz, or Synchro. So yeah. And then lastly, for the traps, I'm running 1 Typhoon, It's a really good hand trap, if that makes any sense. Because if you control null spell or trap and your opponent has 2 or more, you can activate in your hand. And that's trap cards like that. It's really good because like Red Reboot does that, and it's at 1. So yeah, it's pretty much like Mythical Space Typhoon in a trap form. That's pretty much what it is. Speaking of Red Reboot, I have one Red Reboot. Like, this trap card is really good. Yeah, just when your opponent activates a trap card, activate Red Reboot. That trap card is set, and then they set another trap card from their deck to the field. So yeah. And then last my 2 spell cards. Depending on the plays, that's why I have anti-spell. It just depends. Same with Royal Decree. If I'm going up against an Ultrageist, Royal Decree, since they're like what, trap heavy decks, or Eldritch. So yeah, these 2 spell cards are really good. Like I said, depending on the play. So yeah, that's my Blue Eyes Pendulum deck. Like I said, I have a better Blue Eyes deck. It has rockets in it, which that actually goes really well. I've never thought that until I built it, and it's actually really well. The end board, I can have crazy end board. I had number 38 Boral Savage with like 3 counters and Borosword. That was one of my end boards. So yeah. What's another end board? I think I ended off with Boral and Dragon and number 38 one time. So that deck is actually really crazy. And if you want to see it, let me know in the comments. So yeah. Oh, I'll show you that deck. It's insane. It's really good, not gonna lie. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this deck profile, and I'll see you guys next time.